Hey, welcome back everybody to my channel, Living Solo, Living Well. I'm Kat and I'm a 64-year-old registered nurse. And I was thinking recently about, Gen X and Gen Y and baby boomers. And honestly, I never knew where I fell into which category. And so today I did a little research and it appears that I'm a baby boomer. And if anyone was born between, they say 1946 and 1964, you are a baby boomer. I kind of thought I might have been Gen X, but Gen X is 1965 to 1976. So anyway, I got to looking about at baby boomers and YouTube and the benefit that we have as older YouTube content creators. Just what kind of benefit, what kind of things do baby boomers watch or talk about on YouTube? So the different information I found out was that, first of all, YouTube is the second largest search engine behind Google and in the world. So it is used as a search engine. I use it to search things. I can't tell you how many times a day, pretty much. And I've even replaced, I think it was a fan motor behind my refrigerator by watching YouTube. And I bought the part, I followed the steps, I replaced it. That's probably been about maybe 5 or 6 years ago. So maybe even longer than that, as a matter of fact. Time just flies. The older I get, the faster time seems to go. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels that way. So when I did some research, I found that roughly 67% of baby boomers watch YouTube regularly. And then 44% watch YouTube daily. I would fall into that 44%. I don't have Dish, I don't have Comcast, I don't have any kind of TV service other than I watch YouTube because I have Amazon Prime, so I have a Fire Stick. So I get all these channels for just the cost of Prime, so per month. So I spend a lot of time watching documentaries and informative, anything that just different. I don't watch movies on YouTube. I haven't watched a movie probably, gosh, it's been a few years. I like to watch a lot of how to. I like to learn things, and I like to look at other baby boomers and Gen Xers and those around my age range. I like to see what topics they're talking about and how they're doing. So anyway, of the viewers that watch YouTube worldwide, 53% are male and 47% are female. So I thought that was kind of interesting because it's almost it's almost 50-50. So a little bit off, but 2.7 billion YouTube users. There are 2.7 billion YouTube users as of 2026 worldwide. So that's a lot of exposure. It's a lot of information at your fingertips. It's a lot of what's the word I'm thinking of? A lot of possibilities that we have to, if we have something we want to talk about, like my YouTube channel or somebody else's, that's a lot of people that we potentially could have as viewers. So interacting with them, even if you can imagine, it blows my mind, if you can imagine all the different topics there are in the world to talk about. I'm sure there are billions. So it just opens up a world of research ideas. I love looking stuff up and learning new things. And I look for recipes. I look for just people talking about how to, like I said, if I need something fixed, I'll look it up on YouTube to see if it's something that I can do. So the top reasons why baby boomers use YouTube, and I'm using my notes. I've got some bullet points in front of me and by the camera. So YouTube is the ultimate how-to resource. So like I said, I look up things if I'm I'm wanting to build something, something small, like a chest or a wooden chest, then we used YouTube to look up how to do things. I built some 6-foot table benches that went to a farmhouse table that I had bought, and I bought the table off of Marketplace, and then I made the 6-foot long benches. But I found somebody that had a YouTube video. It was just like an instructional video on how to put together benches for tables. So that was pretty neat. I ended up selling the table and the benches because I'll be moving. I'm building a house and we're not quite done with the house yet. So anyway, I sold that table because it would not fit in my new house. It's a lot smaller than this house. So anyway, the ultimate how-to resource. The next reason why baby boomers use YouTube or watch YouTube is the accessible entertainment and nostalgia that it provides. So there are so many channels that have things that older people are used to, or music or movies or whatever, shows that we grew up watching or listening to. So it's kind of like a search engine for nostalgia, and we can just enjoy some of the things we used to listen to without having to pay like a subscription for things. And so I thought that was really interesting. The next thing that baby boomers use YouTube for is, due to the shift to smart TVs, we can now watch YouTube on our TV. And I do that. I like to sit in the recliner and watch TV in the evening. So YouTube is pretty much all I watch 99.99% of the time. I find stuff to watch on it. There's a vast variety of things to watch. It's wonderful because you can learn things about other countries, other people, other areas, maybe that you've never heard of. So I like that. I really like that. And then the fourth reason that baby boomers like to watch YouTube or be on YouTube or use YouTube is the independence factor. So we can search, we can research, we don't have to go to the library. If there are some of us that are older than me, there are people that are older than me that maybe can't get out, maybe can't drive, and they're not able to go to the library like they used to do. So they can pull up information on YouTube. They can look for products. They can make an informed decision. A lot of times I'll do that. I'll look up something. If I'm going to buy something off of Amazon, I will look up different things about that item and just kind of get the lowdown on it. So I really like that. I really love that YouTube, besides watching TV and watching shows and documentaries and videos, you can search. So you can look at how-to things. You can just watch something for pure entertainment. So there are a lot of things you can do with YouTube. So a couple of the things I wanted to talk about, the top 10 baby boomer characteristics. So here we go. And these don't all apply to me. They may apply to a lot of people, but I don't think they apply to everybody. But number one, I don't know that they're in any particular order, but they've got cash to stash. So if you've got cash, and actually it says cash to splash. So what they're talking about is you have cash, you've worked for years and years and years, and a lot of people this age have saved up. So they've got the cash, they've got the liquidity to be able to use that cash in ways that they want to. If they want to travel, go on vacation, if they want to donate, if they want to give to charities. So I thought that was interesting. I don't have cash to splash. I don't have cash to stash either. So I wish I did, but I don't. So I got a late start in life with my career. And I wish I knew then what I know now, because I could have better prepared. So either way, that's an interesting one, and that probably does apply to a lot of people. The next baby boomer characteristic is that boomers are still very much a part of the workplace. So, I am semi-retired, but I'm not completely retired. And my situation's a little bit different because I still have a workers' comp claim open, so I still have a lot of injuries and I can't work full time. Makes it difficult. So I've talked about that. I have another video. I will try to put it up here, and it'll talk about my workers' comp case and the issues that the accident had created. So anyway, number 3, another reason why another top baby boomer characteristic is that their social media footprint is growing. So everybody's online these days. I have taken care of an older patient out of her home, and she's close to 80, I would say. And at the time I was seeing her, she has a computer, but she would get on, what did she call it? On the computer, something, she called it a name. I can't recall what it was, but she even was interested in researching. She showed me something on her computer once, and she had a bunch of tabs open. So she had been doing some research at her age, which is fine, which is wonderful, because our minds don't stop when we get older. You know, we have a curiosity, we have reasons why we're looking things up and searching things on Google, or on Google, but as well as YouTube. So the next characteristic of baby boomers is that more baby boomers are moving towards content creation. You know, I started last November, not gung-ho. I did initially, but, you know, I kind of posted a ton of videos and then I would wait a while or had things going on and I wasn't able to post them as frequently as I was when I first started. But creating content at an older age, you know, that's pretty special, I think. We have a lot of knowledge from which to draw, and we can teach a lot of people a lot of things. I remember something funny. I may have mentioned this in another video, but my grandson is 15 and a half, almost 16. And when he was probably 10 or 11, I had asked him what he wanted to be when he grows up, and he said he wanted to be a YouTuber. And I was like, I don't know that you're going to make much money doing that, but I had never really researched it and checked into it. Had not heard much about it. I just knew there were YouTube channels and I was watching them. I didn't understand how YouTube worked. So now I look back and I'm like, go for it. You know, if he wants to be a YouTuber, I just think that's wonderful because he's very creative. He's very gifted, and he's into music and art, and he's brilliant. So I know he will probably use it to his advantage, and he probably will be more than successful. So I look forward to seeing what he's going to be doing. Okay, another baby boomer characteristic is that baby boomers are more tech savvy than you may think. So just like years ago when my grandson said he wanted to be a YouTuber, and I thought, that's a waste of time. You're going to be a slacker. And I didn't know much about it. But now I'm pretty tech savvy at this point. I don't know everything there is to know, but I do know a lot more than I knew about 5 years ago. So we are becoming more tech savvy. I think having YouTube as a search engine is helping us become more tech savvy. So I know I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube and technology. I have a lot of channels that I really like. There's a guy, Kevin Kline, I believe his name is, and Kline. I'm not sure of the spelling of his name, but it's actually Kevin Kobe. I think it's Kobe. So I was close, but not quite. Anyway, he is so knowledgeable in the information he imparts about setting up a YouTube channel, and not trying to promote somebody else's channel, but the guy is very smart, and I really think you could check him out and see just what all he knows. I think it would help you out. So the next baby boomer characteristic is that current advertising doesn't resonate well with them or with us. And I think what they're talking about there is that I think we're more discerning in our decision making and our research. And so if I see an ad it doesn't faze me. You know, I don't think, oh, I've got to go get that, or I want to read more about that. It almost doesn't faze me. I just can't wait to get through the ads. You know, that's probably not good to skip through the ads, but as far as for monetizing somebody's channel getting monetized, but I think we're more savvy and introspective and more wanting to know more about things as opposed to jumping on the bandwagon with that first ad that we see. So another baby boomer characteristic is that boomers are advocates for the environment. So I didn't really look into, I'm going to look into what that really talks about because I'm not quite understanding what that means. So here it talks about, takes me a second to get there. Okay, they're saying that if you think about advocates for the environment, it's probably that you picture a younger generation. But baby boomers are actually 14% more likely than Gen Z to be interested in environmental issues. And it says 65% more likely to say they always recycle. Now, I do recycle some things, but I'm not steadfast, and I don't keep it up all the time. I'm a slacker. So I need to probably get more into that. But another characteristic of baby boomers is that they want brands to be authentic and traditional. So I know for me, my grandson, I'm going to talk about him again. He would say to me at times, if I had an idea, he would say, "Banana, you should do this." And I didn't want to. I didn't like his way of thinking because that's not my way of thinking. Mine is more traditional. I know when I had an IV hydration clinic, and I was coming up with a name for my business several years ago, and I was telling him some of the names, and he kept saying, "No, you should do this name. You should use this name." There's such almost like a disconnect between that generation and the baby boomers that some things sound strange to us, just like our ideas sound strange to them. So I tend to want things that are more authentic and more traditional. And I can see that that would be probably the way that a lot of baby boomers are. So that's just my own thought, but apparently that is the thought of this study. So the next characteristic is that baby boomers are becoming avid gamers. Now, I know nothing about gaming online. I don't do it. I don't have an interest in it. There's that traditional thing again. But baby boomers, it says that they might not fit the typical gamer demographic, but their game playtime has seen meaningful growth. And so they said it's been increasing. The game play time has been increasing about 5 minutes a day on average over the last couple of years. And they said, just to put it into perspective, Gen Z will play games for an hour or more every day, but this figure has actually dropped by 10 minutes over the same period, while the baby boomers' playtime has continued to rise. So I found that interesting because it seems like it would be the opposite of that, but apparently not. So that's what that study says. And then another characteristic of baby boomers is that we are a happy-go-lucky bunch. So I don't know where they got that. So I'm interested in it. It says that baby boomers' top value is having a positive attitude, and that we are 9% more likely to say this than the average consumer. And it says that 9 out of 10 baby boomers will rate their mental well-being as being good or very good, which is a lot higher than younger generations. So that's really interesting. I can kind of see that because as a nurse, I've read studies where younger people suffer more from depression, anxiety, a lot of mental health issues. And so I can kind of see that. It does make sense since I've read that. So the bottom line is that baby boomers, we're not the stereotypical outdated, we don't have that outdated image that when we were younger, those that were our age didn't have. They did not have all of this to go to look at, to research, to to have this different a YouTube search engine or videos to watch online like that. So we have kind of gotten out of that stereotype, and it's kind of like we've gotten with the times. We've come around. So it's about time, right? So anyway, these are just kind of neat statistics, and I just wanted to talk about it because I found it fascinating that that when I do research on YouTube, I find so many people that are my age or older. Like I said, some 70s, some 80s, and I think I talked about that in another video, but maybe the video I made about not waiting, just going ahead and starting a YouTube channel. So I like that. I like this information. It kind of seems like we're heading into the right place. We're headed the right direction. The world is changing and everything is becoming digital. It's becoming, AI is poking its head out as well. And so I do find that interesting because I watched a video with an attorney discussing a case a few days ago. And I went to the comments and I saw some comments where people were saying, this is AI, that is not a real man. He's not a real attorney. So it was very difficult to tell. But once I looked at it from that perspective, I wasn't 100% sold, but I did pick up on a few things that made me think that he was AI. So anyway, we are coming around. Baby boomers are coming around. There's hope for us after all. And I'm going to continue my usage with YouTube as a search engine, also as learning how to do things, projects, and having it as a platform to create content for for myself, to create content for people. So I hope this has been interesting. I don't know if it's very informative. You may already know this information, but I'm a little slow coming around sometimes. So I did a little research today and just found it fascinating. So I hope you guys are having a great day and enjoy your day. I'll see you on the next video.